Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why Eddie's laughing, but welcome to the greatest known podcast in the known multi-universe and the most dangerous by far in this one, by far. Now, what the fuck are you laughing at, bro?
I can hear your dog, dude. I can hear your dog in the back. And it reminds me of how little my dog gives a fuck too. She does not give a shit.
Oh, my Bray's just come back. We just took him for a walk before we started because I'm going to be up in 6.5 hours because I've got work in the morning. But I'm that dedicated to the cause. I'm going to have 5 hours sleep just so I can bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest podcast in the known world. Oh, how are you doing, Sarah, anyway?
Oh, man, it's been a long day already, but it's still 2:30 p.m. here, 2:36 p.m. So I don't know none of that. You know what? I'm with you though. I stay up way too late anyway, so I only get about 4 or 5 hours of sleep before I have to go to work in the morning too. So I know the pain, dog. I know the pain.
Oh, usually it's cool though because like I don't mind if I'm staying awake till like 2, 3 in the morning and getting up at like 10. Like I don't mind if I'm getting like 5, 6 hours sleep. That's fine. But it's because the simple fact that I'm not a morning person. Like I don't do before 10 o'clock. So with me having to get up at 5 o'clock, I'm gonna have hella black coffee. Hella black coffee.
You're gonna need all the black coffee, dog.
It's gonna be that dark. Is the black coffee? It's gonna be like Czech Congo's knees. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that dark.
That's not funny. Oh shit. You know, black and shiny as John Jones' head too. That motherfucker shaved his head. See that shit?
With that coconut oil in my drink, it damn sure will be shiny. Damn skipper.
Tell you what, man. Fucking yeah.
I'm all about that MCT.
Hey, you know what, MCT oil? If you fuck up and take too much of that shit, you can have a bad morning for a little bit.
Yeah, but in fairness, at work, I'm not really that complaining. Anyway, let's talk about like bowel movements and all that kind of other bad stuff.
Let's move on.
Let's move straight into this motherfucking card. We're gonna breeze through the prelims and the fight pass prelims. We're not gonna get too in depth because the main card is so stacked. We could be here for hours otherwise. So, let's go through the prelims real quick. We'll just give a straight up picks, you know what I mean? So we can get straight into that. If you guys have got any questions about those fights, if we, skip through them too quick, just hit us up in the comments, hit us up in the chat, let us know what it is, and we'll get straight to you. So don't worry, we will be watching out for you guys because some people got a little bit pissy that we were just ranting and raving in the last episode.
Yeah, really? What did they say?
Just some people was like that we just didn't check the chat, and there was a guy commenting like, why didn't you reply to him? Like he had some good points. I was like, okay, but we did address the points. It's just that we didn't obviously
chat. Whatever, man. Yeah. All right. Look, people, we do our best. All right, motherfuckers. Goddamn.
We don't have like a fucking like a what do you call it? Like a producer or anything like that kind of hits us up. So it is what it is. If you want 5 hours worth, go watch Ariel on a Monday.
On a Monday for the 1 hour show, it ends up being 20. The fuck is that about?
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, I haven't watched it in about 2 years, maybe less than 2 years. So if that's changed, good for him. But I haven't watched it, so.
For the most part of it, I'm really excited to see Brian Ortega back. I'm kind of amazed that Brian Ortega has not been spoken about a little bit more, considering he did a lot with UFC now. I thought that it publicized his return a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, what's the last time he fought? Like right now as we speak, I'm looking up his the last fight that he had. Like he what was it? Let's see. Fuck.
The last fight that Ortega had was against Clayton.
Yeah. That was pretty recent then.
It was UFC 199, sorry.
Oh, that's June 2016. That's why we fucking haven't heard shit about this dude. He's been gone over a year.
Yeah, he had shoulder surgery.
Okay, there we go. He isn't defeated though still. So
yeah, he was I think if I remember correctly, I think he was like 6th at one point. And yeah, like I say, he got to about 6, and then all of a sudden, all right, Eddie's dying.
I'm freezing my ass off, dude. Sorry. Welcome, I'm muting my mic. All right, I fucking do what I can.
Oh, bless your cotton socks. But he as far as I remember, I think he was as high as 6, and he looked like he was going to be like one of the prospects to kind of go up and start fighting some more of the top guys. And then obviously the kind of divisions moved a little bit further forward since, obviously in his absence. But I think Brian Ortega has the potential to be. I don't want to say champion because I think it's very soon. And, you know, but he's fought some stellar names, you know, like Diego Brandao, who fought against Clay Guido. And, you know, a lot of his fights, it looks like he's not going to be able to pull it off, but he always seems to get it at the last possible moment and he steals the win, whether it be knockout, submission. He's a good finisher as well. So for me, you know, against Renato, I'm gonna say submission within 3. I'm gonna say submission in the 3rd.
You're saying submission in the 3rd for a guy that's been gone for over a year.
Yeah, but he's a jiu-jitsu guy, so like saying that he has arguably he has the most deadliest guard in the UFC. Period.
I agree, but he's taking on a jiu-jitsu guy.
I don't dispute that, but again. My point still stands though is I think that of all the things that he can do, I think that obviously how can I put this? With him being a guard player as opposed to a top guy, you know, that kind of being able to use your momentum off your back and catching submissions off your back, I feel as if his training in preparation and recovery from his shoulder surgery is going to be a lot more beneficial than say a striker or like a top heavy guy like a wrestler. Like I feel that if anything his injury would have deterred a lot more of the fighters because of the way that they fight, but because he's such a lackadaisical kind of fighter and because he's a very passive fighter, I feel that he'll grow into the fight and I think he'll catch something in the 3rd.
All right, look, it's very, 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 very possible. Here's where I'm a little iffy with it. This, you know, Carnero, he is high level jiu-jitsu. He trains. I think he trains a freaking Honey Yaya, dude. That's high level, right? Honey Yaya, yeah, I'm pretty sure. But so I mean, I think it's gonna be hard for Ortega to come back and finish the fight. I think if he wins, it's gonna be a decision. I think it'll be a decision. I think their jiu-jitsu is gonna cancel each other out, and it'll end up being kind of like a sloppy-ish striking kind of a fight. That being said, if it goes to the ground, I'm gonna be happy as fuck. Believe me, I'll be like, hell yeah.
It's gonna be incredible to watch, undoubtedly.
Two high level jiu-jitsu fighters going at it. Fuck yeah, dude, I'm down. If it goes to the ground, I like Ortega, but I don't like him by I don't know. I just like Ortega by decision on this one. I think he's like a high level guy, but just the lack of momentum to me is gonna fuck him.
I don't know because like I say, for me, I just stick with the thing of. He's always been able to pull it out. It seems like every time that, like in the fight where it looks like, right, you know, he's going to lose this by decision, boom, flying knee, Clay Guido gets fucking starched. Do you know what I'm saying? He has this where he grows into the fight. I think the problem, if anything, will be if he's on the bottom a lot of the fight and he's threatening from the bottom, but the judges don't recognize that. That's where the issue is going to be with it going for decision. And that's why he'll go for the kill, I believe, as the fight goes on and he grows into the fight. I just worry that if it goes to decision, I don't see it going Ortega's way, pardon me, because I just feel that if you're threatening off your back, you have to do crazy amount of shit to secure a victory by decision. Crazy amount of stuff compared to even if you're just on top for all 3 rounds.
Don't pull guard then, Brian.
Fuck you, man. It's called. How the fuck are you gonna hit a triangle from the fucking top?
I'm fucking around, dude. I'm just joking. I'm a big guy. I don't like being on my back. It's fucking awful. Okay, my triangles.
You're like Chael Sonnen, aren't you? Like you're like the Chael Sonnen line to Anderson Silva. Like
what? I'm not.
Like I don't lay my back for anybody. I'm a Republican.
Right, whatever. I'm so not any political affiliation. But anyway, regardless, I'm with you on that. Judges don't fucking pay attention anymore, right? Judges are all like, it's all about dominant position and all that. And, you know, like what you're talking right now, Brian Ortega is really good off his back. A lot of guys are good off their back, right? We always talk about, oh, good off his back, good off his back. In an MMA fight, it's good off his back. And to me, I always add this little caveat to it. Good off his back, better finish the fight off his back. Because if you're on your back too goddamn long, I don't care how many elbows and little shot punches that you're doing off your back, it's not going to help you. The judges don't give a shit. They're going to give the points to the guy on top every time. So I'm with you. If Ortega wins, it's got, to me, it can't be. If he wins a decision, it's because he was like way more active, like ridiculously active. But I just don't see him being on his back in this one at all. That being said, here's what I think happens. I think Ortega's going to try to keep it standing the whole time. Like I think he's gonna keep standing because. Correct me if I'm wrong. When's the last time Carnero knocked anybody out?
True.
In fact, I don't think he's. Let me find out. But I don't think he has a knockout on his record at all.
I believe you're right in saying that. I think mostly the decisions, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 5 submission wins and 6. Well, they're all wins, but five subs and 6 decisions. This guy's not knocking anybody out. If I'm Brian Ortega, I just does he have a no contest?
There's 11-0-1.
Mike De La Torre. I don't know what it was about.
It's
weird. Regardless, if I'm Brian Ortega, I keep it on the feet, and I'm like, yeah, y'all remember I just knocked out Clay Guida with a big fucking knee to his face? Guess what's gonna happen in this one, bitch? Hands are gonna go flying. So if I'm Ortega, I keep it standing, man. That's what I do.
Fair.
And I'm taking him by decision still, but still.
Fair. Next up, Funkmaster, man. Aljamain Sterling against Renan Barão.
I don't like Renan Barão. Not that I don't like Renan Barão because of who he is. I don't like Renan Barão in his recent fights. No, fuck it, the recent fights. Let's just be fucking clear, okay? This dude got knocked out by a bathtub. Come on, son. Come on, man. You're a professional fighter. You cut weight, and you don't have someone right there to catch you. Like, I don't know. Look, regardless of the circumstances, I'm not trying to be to criticize him because he fucking passed out cutting weight. That would happen. What I don't like is the fact that he's just iffy about making weight. So iffy, in fact, that with these new limits and rules that California has for cutting weight and for making weight, they made this into a catchweight fight. This is now a 140-pound fight. It doesn't belong in either featherweight. It doesn't belong in bantamweight. They're literally fighting for a paycheck. Like literally, neither guy has much to win out of this one, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? Force Renan Barão to go featherweight from now on with a win? I mean, what the fuck?
I think it helps Sterling because obviously it gives him a name to kind of platform off of, and he's in desperate need of it because he always seems to be the guy who gets so far and then something halts him. And he has had some questionable decisions go against him. But again, it's what have you done for me lately? And you can't go, I nearly won. It doesn't work like that. Like this guy, and I truly believe it, I think he's one of the most charismatic guys in the UFC. But what does it matter if you never win a fight? Like, granted, he does try to go for wins, and it's all good and well. But again, you need to get those W's, man, because it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how cool you are on Instagram. It doesn't matter how cool you are on Snapchat. It doesn't matter how cool you are on Twitter. It just doesn't matter if you never win. And he gets the one win, and then he gets an opportunity because you can tell the UFC brass are heavy on him. You can tell. And, they should be because they've got a star in the making. But the problem is he's not young. If I remember correctly, he's 30 years old. Is that correct?
I know Renan is. I think Sterling's like 28, 27. He's young.
He was older than that, but he's 27, sorry. 27? So he has some wiggle room, my bad. I thought he was getting more near towards 30. But again, I just think that you need to pull the trigger soon because like that division at 135, there is killers coming through that 135 division. More and more and more, and it's like they'll surpass you at some point. They will surpass you. There's going to be more young guys coming through that are going to be badder, quicker, stronger, everything. And it's how much can he do in the time that he's got left? He needs to get this stellar name under his belt.
Well, dude, okay, this guy's been in the UFC since what, 2014? He's got 7 UFC fights, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 UFC fights. Okay, I mean, there's guys higher than him that have less fights than him. You know what I mean? Like. It's not that he's just getting left behind, man. That's just what it is. He's getting left behind. Call it bad luck. Call it losing a Hot Sunsao and Mr. Tate. What's his name?
Brian Calloway.
That guy. Yeah.
Caraway,
Call it losing to those guys. I mean, look, as much as I can't stand Caraway and his fish hooking ways, that motherfucker. Let's be real. I'm annoyed that Misha Tate is on that dude. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. But anyway, yeah.
Got prize on that bullshit now, motherfucker. Anyway.
What? Anyway, regardless, look, Caraway's legit. He's legit at 135. You got to give him a little bit of credit, especially because he wins, right? But losing to those two guys, not a huge deal. All right. And then he beat Augusto Mendez, which to me is a pretty big win. but it's not a name that people know.
Exactly.
You need, like, this is a big fight for him just off a name. Renan Barão used to be the 135 pound champion, right?
A dominant 135 champion as well.
Very dominant. And TJ Dillashaw comes in with that fucking slick ass footwork and fucks him up. So,
and nobody saw that coming as well. Credit to
nobody. So here's the interesting thing about this fight, dude. Both of these guys are coming off a win, like a win that they needed. Like Aljo was in a 2-fight losing streak and then beats Augusto Mendes, right? Renan Barão's in a 2-fight losing streak to Jeremy Stephens and TJ. I think it was on the rematch, TJ, and then he beats Felipe Nova, right? That is what they needed. So now it's one of those, okay, well, can you build off of those wins? They're not huge wins, but they're wins nonetheless to keep you in the game. You keep your job. Now they both have a fucking, it's more for Aljo. There's more to game here for Aljo than there is for Renan, but, you know, Renan needs a win and Aljo needs a name.
I'm going to go, basing this on prior things that we've seen with Renan Barão, I'm going to go with Sterling because I believe that the footwork and the movement of it and the way that he strikes, very John Jones-esque, and keeping long and rangy. I think personally that's the way I think that he edges the decision to Sterling. I think this is going to be a very lackluster fight. I think this is going to be one of those fights that if you're a purist, quote unquote, you're going to enjoy it because of the movement, the striking, the technique and the strategy that you'll see implemented. I just think that Sterling will use his movement and his striking and be very TJ-esque in his movement and striking to keep him at distance and get in and out when he can. You know, Sterling does not have a problem, you know, quote unquote, resetting. He doesn't mind hitting you and running like a motherfucker. And I think that's going to frustrate Renan Barão. And if he does get lazy, he will get caught, and he will get caught in either a submission or he will get clacked. And that's just how I see it. Yeah. I see it playing out by decision, to be fair, though.
Yeah, Aljo's good about staying, for the most part, staying on game plan. Like, if you ever watch his fights, he doesn't get yelled at for getting off a game plan. You rarely hear Longo or Matt Serra yell out, "Get back to the game plan, Aljo, get back to the game plan." You rarely hear that. He's pretty good about that. The times that he's kind of gotten away from that, he has lost fights, though. There's been a couple times where he kind of starts getting a little too fancy, thinking he's winning the fight and shit, and then he screws up. Renan Barão's gonna get very frustrated with Aljo going in, strike, get the fuck out the way. Again, get the hell out the way, right? It's going to go over and over again. And I think Renan Barão's going to, make a few mistakes here and I don't think he'll get caught because I don't think Aljo has that kind of power to knock somebody out, like, like a one-hitter quitter. But I do think he's going to make enough mistakes to let Aljo score on him. And it should be a pretty unanimous decision for Aljo here. He gets a name. He gets some mic time, maybe. Call your shot, dude. Real quick, just on that point, does it bother you? Because it bothers me when you win a fight. You win a fight. You didn't just get a decision. Even if it's like a really close decision, or it was like a war of a fight, and you win it and you win the decision. Does it ever bother you when people go, "I'll take whoever the UFC gives me"? Because that bothers me a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm of wrestling, like pro wrestling, WWE. Like history, like I've been a fan of it since I was a kid, and you always remember people making a statement after a win. Whether it doesn't even necessarily have to be saying a certain name. Sometimes I feel that you have to make a really bold statement, even if you're saying something. And hear me out when I say this, but look at Alaquinta. He just went, "I think it's bullshit. I don't get paid." What?
No, and he goes, "Well, you boo me? Fuck you!" That was the best.
He turns around and he calls bullshit. He turns around and says that the UFC don't pay him, like enough. He kicks off, and what that does is then if you're smart and you want this, obviously if you don't want to keep your mouth shut, but what it does then is they give you a killer, and usually a killer is a higher up guy, and if you have that much faith in what you're doing, then you're going to be fine with that because you're going to go, "Okay, give me a killer. That's fine with me because you've just moved me up 3 places up the ranks."
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily feel that they need to call somebody out. I think you just need to make a statement. I always believe in, you've got 20 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever, however long you've got. Make a statement, because this is your brand. And I'm going to sound like Brendan Schaub here, and I don't give a fuck. The point is, though, is these fighters need to recognize how much they're worth if they want the UFC to recognize how they're worth. If you don't ask for what you want, why would the UFC give you more than what you're asking for? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's just bad business on their part. UFC is never going to turn around and go, oh, right, we're going to give you an extra 25 grand. Why? Just because. Never going to happen. In a million years. You turn around and come out with a cool little catchphrase. You come out with a cool little slogan. You create a little bit of buzz for yourself and end up on every social media and stuff like that, and turn around and say, I don't know, like you turn around and say that you want to kick some celebrity's ass. You know what I mean? You know, I want Wiz Khalifa. Where you at? You smoke fucking junkie pothead guy. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Though you turn around and make a name for you. Mickey Gall it. Like Mickey Gall.
Yeah.
Like,
now here's the thing. So I was talking about, if you win a fight, you should make a statement, just like you said right there, right? I like when guys call their shots. Call your shot, dude. If you fucking believe in yourself, you say you Romero, right? Knees Chris Weidman right in the head, calls out Michael Bisping. Where you at, Michael? I love you, Mike. That shit. Fucking genius. Even if he didn't mean to do it, and he just came out, that's great. You can come off a dominant decision and start going, Conor McGregor, where you at, motherfucker? You got everything I work for, you know what I mean? You're taking everything I work for. I'm the money fight and all this shit. And then Nate Diaz all of a sudden gets the McGregor fight. He went from this close to being out of the UFC to $2 million plus fights in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Call your shot, motherfuckers. Goddamn. Call your shot. Enough of this. I'll take whoever the UFC puts in front of me. You know why? Because they'll get, okay, fucking who's new? Put that guy in front of me. Fuck him. You know what I mean? It's just like,
I agree with
especially,
you. 100%.
Yeah, especially if you finish a fight in spectacular fashion. Call your fucking shot. Just call it. What's the worst gonna happen? No? Okay. Then you fight whoever the UFC gives you. Fuck it. But call your goddamn shot, people. Come on now.
I think that the problem is, though, is too many people are scared of what will happen. You know what's the other thing as well? I'm gonna sound so stupid when I say this, but at the end of the day, we're human. I think some guys are scared of what could be next. Like, they don't want to determine their own fate, because if you call somebody out, you best believe that you can beat them. You best believe you can beat them. Because if you turn around and call someone out and they whoop your ass, god damn, that's a bitter pill to swallow, because it's like, then it kills every bit of confidence you have. Like, that's on you. That's on you. Yeah. Nobody else. So
no, 100%.
I think that in the long run, there should always be one of your coaches that has a bit of paper that you've written before the fight, like a couple of days before, and he turns around and says to you, he reads it when you're all celebrating, and he just goes, dude, don't forget you're calling out da-da-da-da. You said you wanted to do da-da-da-da. Just give him a little fucking bump, man. That's your job. Like, make it happen. That's my opinion on it. But additional to that, though, what I was going to say is if Sterling was to win this fight, with him being 8th, who does he face in that top fucking 7? Because every one of them is killers, or they've already beat him.
They all beat him already?
Well, not all of them are beaten, but they're all like, the only person who I could see likely is John Dodson.
Oh god, I'm not a fan of that fight for Aljo right now.
No, I'm not a fan for it, but what, is he going to fight Caraway again? No. Is he going to fight Lineker? No. Is he going to fight Rivera? No. Rafael Asuncao? Nope. TJ Dillashaw? Nope. Cruz? Nope. And he's definitely not fighting for the title.
Not against, no. Oh man.
So Dodson's the only name. Unless he goes down and fights against Thomas Almeida.
Hey. If Aljo wins this fight, the UFC's gonna be like, Thomas Almeida needs something here. Throw Thomas at him. Thomas Almeida just lost, right?
Yeah, it's almost like, yeah, but that's the thing, though. Like, he's below him, so why would he fight somebody who just lost who's below him?
Because fight whoever we put in front of you, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Because you said it yourself.
Your destiny. Don't go down.
No, but they're not gonna give him someone above him.
Dodson.
They give him Dodson. He's not gonna. I mean, would you take that fight if you're Aljo? Let's be honest.
Hey, I'm just saying this to you. This is just my honest opinion, and because I'm not a fighter, do you know what I mean, like professionally or anything like that. But the thing is, though, is if I'm doing this for a living, I have to believe in my heart that I can beat anybody. I have to. You have to.
Bruh, go talk to Jermaine Durandamy and then come back and talk to me.
Yeah, but in fairness, though, I'm gonna get like this thing on. But at the end of the day, I understand where she's coming from.
I
Like,
know.
why would I want to fight a fucking juiced up chick who's been juicing up for the, you know, whether you believe or not she still does, that's here nor there. But at some point, we know she did. And the lasting effects of that, she's been able to maintain through a lot of hard work and dedication and training, granted, but she still has that advantage from before where she did cheat.
Right. And here's the for anyone that wonders, like, you know, why people keep bringing up steroids and shit. It's because some of that shit is still there. Like, it didn't go away.
It doesn't go away. It doesn't.
Right. So, you know, yeah, she got caught once and then this last time, whatever. But okay, regardless of that, here's the thing about Jermaine Durandamy, and it is that it bothered me because it was just one of those like you're the champion, dude. If you didn't want to fucking fight whoever's coming up next, don't fucking be champion. And you know what she did? She said, "Yeah, that's okay. Here, have your belt." That's literally what she did. Yeah, no, fuck that.
The right thing, though. At least she did the right thing. She could have turned around and said, "I'll fight anybody else."
She could have, but I think she knew for sure she'd get stripped.
Better to give it.
I think they still stripped her anyway.
Yeah, but it's still good to just give it away rather than have it taken from you.
I agree. No, that's for sure.
Just my opinion. But we'll go to the main event of the prelims. Our boy Jason Knight against Ricardo Lamas, which is such a fucking good fight.
It's a sick fight. I'm a little nervous for our boy, but it's a good fight. It's really good.
I am because I'm just like, well.
Well, look, it's Hick Diaz against fucking Ricardo Lamas. It's gonna be a good fucking fight.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, I think Jason might not fight careful enough, if that makes sense, for Ricardo Lamas. Now, I'm not saying Ricardo Lamas is the world beater. He's a gatekeeper at best. You know what I mean? But you talk about jumping from like not ranked or at least very low ranked.
15th. Okay,
yeah, at the very beginning of the rankings, basically, to number what? 4?
Third.
3? Third? 3? No, I'm not saying the rankings mean shit in a fight. Because
let's be fair. Those rankings are kind of bullshit, if we're being completely honest.
Oh, okay. Let's address that real quick. UFC rankings are horseshit because you have quote unquote journalists. Or okay, it's journalists with a few imposters in there, all voting and shit. Okay, when you tell me that after Conor McGregor knocks out Jose Aldo 13 seconds, there's a Brazilian journalist that voted no on him as pound for pound, whatever the fuck. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Come on now. We all watch that fight.
Just to put this into perspective, and this is why I'm saying this about the featherweight one in particular. Bear in mind, Darren Elton just won his last fight, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
He's 10th. Brian Ortega is 8th. Bear that in mind.
He hasn't fought in a year.
Exactly. Jeremy Stevens and Yair Rodriguez both lost their last fight. 6th
coming up last.
and 6th. The Korean Zombie is 5th.
I'm okay with that, dude. It's a Korean Zombie, man. You can't hate him.
I'm just saying, though. He was gone for 3 years or whatever it was.
Yeah. He went to military.
Cub Swanson, granted, he beat an unranked guy in his last fight. But the fact is, though, is he's still 4th. And he could potentially be fighting for the title, not next, but one after.
Okay, well, then this is when we start talking about. And here's why I agree with you. Here's why that shit, all that stuff you just said, Cub Swanson might fight for the title soon, beating an unranked guy. You know, Korean Zombie's gone for 3 years. This is where the mix of sports and entertainment starts to get really, really shitty. We're WWEing this shit. What's a better storyline to you? Cub Swanson after a war with Doo Ho Choi, and then another fucking, fucking just piecing up Artem Lobov and not being able to knock him out, but just doing some crazy shit to him the whole fight? That, or do you want the fucking, like the human zombie basically in Darren Elkins possibly fighting for a title? It's about selling shit, dude. It's fucking sad.
But I just think that even still, I think that you could position the rankings where right now those said rankings. If I'm organizing these rankings right now and being 100% fair, diplomatic, and not putting anything out there. If I'm putting them out and I'm being completely honest, you've got Jose Aldo at 1, you've got Frankie at number 2, you've got Cub Swanson should be 3rd. I think that'd be fair over Lamas. When was the last time fucking Lamas fought? Against Charles Oliveira, UFC Fight Night. Which one was that?
Lamas against Oliveira?
That was in November of last year.
Yeah.
So, right, again. So, Lamas has been out for a while. I know he got injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he hasn't fought. So, for me, and then you look at, say, like Darren Elkins, who has fought and been on a tear. Are you telling me he shouldn't be near the top 5 compared to Korean Zombie, Yair Rodriguez, and Stevens?
No, I mean, he should be, but just like you said, these things are bullshit, man.
But then but the thing is, though, if they want to sell it, why not make Darren Elkins 5th?
Have you seen what Darren Elkins like UFC like fucking profile picture is?
Yeah,
you might as well. You could Photoshop. No, you could Photoshop his face and put it on a short bus somewhere, dude.
Dude, he looks like he's arguing with his own eyes. He looks like
I never heard that one before. Yeah, you're right. You know, he looks retarded. That's the thing. Is you're not gonna fucking put that guy as as anything even be close to the face of the UFC. I mean, who's the face of the UFC right now?
Conor.
Exactly. Quite simple. Conor McGregor, and you know.
Yeah, but we all love a good Rocky story. We'd want him to lose his next fight, but because that's just the way the world works. We want the underdog to win. He wins. Right, we're done with him. Let him go and get killed now. Like, we're not bothered about it. But I think everybody would be behind Elkins if he was to fight. If he was to fight against Max Holloway, everybody's cheering for fucking Elkins because we want to see the underdog win. 100%.
Hell no, Max Holloway all day. Get out of here with that bullshit.
I bet you £1,000 right now.
No, I'm saying me.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying though the overall general public.
Oh, probably.
All MMA fans would all be jumping for him.
Depending on where the fight is.
Yeah, but if you just put it somewhere neutral like Vegas.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
I 100%.
First of all, wouldn't that be an awful main event for like a pay-per-view?
It wouldn't be a pay-per-view.
Elkins, Holloway. You're like, oh shit.
It'd never be a pay-per-view.
No.
Unless
I would never agree. Anyway, okay, as far as Jason Knight goes. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Taking on a fiery motherfucker. All right. Ricardo Lamas is not. Remember, Ricardo Lamas against Max Holloway, and Holloway goes, stay right here, and Lamas is like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. And they're like just standing. They planted their feet down and just rock and sock him as hard as they could. All right. That's the guy Jason Knight's taking on. All right. I'm not saying Jason Knight's gonna get knocked out. I'm saying Jason Knight is in for a hell of a night. Like a hell of a night. We might get a fight of the night on a stat card out of this one.
100%. I think this is the pick for fight of the night. As far as like an entertaining fight, this is fight of the night. Like, I don't even think any of the other fights are even remotely close as far as
not even Cowboy Lawler.
No, because we'll get into that. I'll let you get it. We'll get into that. Don't worry, brother. But no, I think that this is going to be a barn burner. I think this is going to be the fight of the night. For me, I think Jason Knight's been active, which is very important. He also sorted out, I believe it was when we spoke to him last, he had a problem with his eye? Oh, no, with his nose, sorry, with his nose. His nose is so he can actually breathe now. And you think of the high cardio and the high output that he uses. What can we see from a guy who can actually breathe better now? That's not an excuse that he's had because he's been winning his fights.
Right.
So it's not like he's been losing and going, I haven't been able to breathe. He's been active. He's been in some wars. He doesn't take fights too often. He waits long enough. So it's not like he's one of these guys who cowboys it and just goes straight in after 4 weeks. I personally think that he's going to edge the decision. I think it's going to be a crazy fight with scrambles, and I think it's going to be like Jason Knight's last fight against fucking Skelly. I think it's going to be like the last fight, but I don't think we're going to see the finish. I think it's going to go to decision, and I think that Knight's going to get the nod because I just think he's going to have a high output, and I think that Lamas is going to be in deep waters, considering that he hasn't been active since November.
Okay. Well, I'm taking Ricardo Lamas by decision.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I just gone off the history and how good he really is. So that being said, I'm picking Ricardo Lamas. I'm cheering for our boy. I like Hick Diaz. I'm a Hick Diaz man. I'm down with that. So But Lama's by decision for sure.
And I just want to state that if you've seen their stare down that they just did at the media stare down things that they do, the face-offs, them two staring each other down was downright fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it was scary as shit. You've got to love a good stare down. There is nothing better than an intense stare down. You know, like when some people are kind of just like they're looking at each other and they're going, and you're like, well, I'm I'm not convinced you're scary. And I know you could whip my ass. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man. Speaking of intense stare down, we'll talk about Jones DC later on, but still. Yeah, I don't know. The stare down thing is kind of weird. Although I do like the stare downs I like are the ones where like the face offs, right? Mostly because Nate Diaz put the nice one on your boy, and your boy panicked like the fucking little fucking hook. That shit was hilarious. I laughed my ass off. I'm telling you.
Ah, dear. And then you know what, you say that, and all I'm gonna say is, and then he walked off into the sunset to go and fight somebody for 100 bazillion pounds. So it's all good.
Look, here's the thing. I'm with everybody on that shit. I'm rooting for McGregor because he's making money. He's setting kind of a precedent of sort for the MMA fighters. But you know, it's basically MMA against boxing. Fucking go MMA. What the hell? That being said, man, that's a rough fight to fucking pick Conor in, but still.
We'll get into that at a later date. Right, so let's go on to Jimmy Manuwa against Vulcan. How do you feel about this?
Can I say who cares? Because I can.
Easy now, because potentially this could be your next fight for the title.
What?
What? Who do you think gets?
What?
So you telling me Jimmy doesn't get a title? You telling me Jimmy doesn't get?
Fuck no.
Jimmy gets a title shot. I bet you if Jimmy wins this fight, Jimmy gets a title shot next.
Dog, he's not getting a title shot next.
205, bet you he gets it.
Watch that. Well, you know, here's what's gonna happen. I probably should say this, but if DC wins, it's gonna be a third fight, and it's gonna be right away. It's none of that fucking next person up shit. No, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Okay. And if John Jones wins, your boy Alexander Gustafsson is waiting in the fucking. He's looming. He's waiting in the shadows. As soon as DC gets knocked out or whatever the fuck and retires, here comes Alexander Gustafsson. Like, where's my rematch, bitch? Or that Brock Lesnar crazy shit happens. Holy fuck! If that actually happened, be insane.
No. I'm saying this: if DC gets finished in quick time, like you know, like some stupid first round, second round bullshit, there is no third fight.
No. If DC gets knocked out, no. If John Jones gets finished,
but I understand what you're saying. If that happens, I get where you're coming from. I totally agree. But I think, and I genuinely mean this, and we'll get more into that in a later bit. But if DC gets brutally finished, DC retires.
No, for sure. No, for sure. It's over. No, it's possible that either way it's over. It's quite possible. But yeah, if he gets finished, that's it, right? But if he wins, if DC wins, it's 1-1. You gotta fucking finish this bitch off. All right? Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
If I'm DC, you know what I do?
What?
I split anyway.
No, that's exactly. No, that's a good point. That's what I would do. So like, okay, cool. I got my win back. Peace, bitch. And then John Jones goes, no.
And
then Gus comes in like, hey, I'll fight you for the yes. Yes. Nah. You want to know why? Do you really think that Dana White, the UFC wants Jimmy Manuwa as the face of 205?
And they want Gustafsson? They want Gustafsson to be the number one guy?
Have you seen that? They were like fucking like fighting each other to blow Gus for the last like 5 years. Dog.
There's no way they're gonna put that on Gus. Nope.
And Jimmy Manuwa got put on a fucking fight night or some shit. Like that's what he gets put on.
Bro, I'm telling you. I'm saying.
I'll say this: the only reason
if Jimmy gets the nod in this fight, Jimmy gets the fucking title shot next. That's what I'm rolling with.
First of all, I'm picking Vulcan.
I know you would, and I understand why.
No. You didn't hear me out. It's legit reasons. Okay?
No, I'm saying. I agree. Yeah. What are you talking about? Like,
no. I don't dislike Jimmy Manuwa at all. I like Jimmy Manuwa. The fight against the OSP and the fight against. First of all, thank you, Jimmy Manuwa, for knocking out Corey Anderson. I was getting sick of this motherfucker possibly being a top 3. I was about to lose my fucking mind if he like wrestle fucked him to a win, and then he goes, "Oh, I think I'm next for the title." Like, oh god. And Jimmy Manuwa was like, "No, bitch, done." That was awesome,
up, bro. Left.
God, I was so happy. But regardless, Volkan just knocked out Misha Serkinov, who's a bad motherfucker. Jimmy Manuwa was riding high on those fucking confidence, right? First of all, the only reason he's on this card, is in case DC's fat ass can't make weight, or John Jones fucking, what do they call it, sandblast a couple hookers before he gets to the fight. That's the only reason he's on this card, people. His fight is only relevant for that reason.
100%.
That being said, they gave him the number 5 light heavyweight, who just starched the guy that we're saying was next to be the big name at 205. Okay, this Volkan kid loves upsetting motherfuckers, and he's not up. Yeah, so this is not gonna be an easy fight for Jimmy Manuwa. First of all, they think it is. I think they were like, oh, it should be easy. It's a big enough name, it should be easy and everything. I think Volkan knocks him the fuck out. That being said, the only reason it's at all relevant in this card is because DC and Jones might pull out. That's the only reason that it's fight relevant. I would have played this as like the main prelim for real. That's what I would have done.
I'm just gonna say this. This is how I look at the fight. I think that as far as it's concerned, Volkan has the advantage as far as pressure, and he sets a high volume and a high pace, and he has exceptionally powerful hands. He's very heavy-handed. With that same thing said, you have to take into account that Jimmy has very good movement, very good footwork, and also has KO power.
Definitely.
I do think that Volkan has the better chance, and I am going to go for Volkan to get the win by knockout, because I'm being completely honest here. Would I prefer to see Jimmy win? Fuck yeah, because it'd be amazing to see him finally get a shot. I think, he's had a lot of rough road, he's had a very rough road, and, it'd be great to kind of see him get that opportunity. With that said, I think the only way Jimmy catches him is on the back foot, and he catches him with like a check hook, or he catches him coming in with the straight. That's how I see him catching him and finish him. Very similar in a way to how he finished OSP.
OSP, yeah.
But again, I think the Volkan has the pressure. He has the high volume. I'm quite a big fan. How can I put this? I always tend to favor guys who put pressure because they're always going forward. And the first thing I got taught when I was learning to strike, when I did kickboxing and taekwondo, was it's harder to strike going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I always lean towards somebody who pressures, because I always think that there's more probability of you catching somebody as you're going forward than you going backwards.
No, I agree. No, I'm with you on this. If Jimmy wins, it's gonna be
that's the main reason. And obviously, there's an 11-year age gap. In fairness, though, Jimmy does have a 4-inch reach advantage, which could be very, very detrimental in counter striking and catching him going backwards. I want Jimmy to win. I'd like Jimmy to win. There's a high probability of him winning by a good counter strike and catching him coming through. I just think, though, that this is the wrong matchup for Jimmy to take. If I were Jimmy, I'd have just said to Dana, look, I'm going to train in the back. I'm going to keep training 205. I'm going to make sure I make weight for you. You just give me a little slice, something, so I can get my little training bonus. If I don't fight, cool. Just give me 5-10 grand. Let me pay off my bills. Then we'll work something out afterwards. If nothing goes to shit, I would have not taken this fight.
I'm with you. First of all, Jacare, I think was it Jacare that did that? 205? UFC 205? He did that. He weighed in. Everyone was like, what the fuck is Jacare doing here?
Yeah.
Turns out he was there in case somebody fell out. So, anyway, but I'm with you, man. But I think Jimmy took taking the risk because he might get the shot. Look, I'm sure he trained for Ozdemir. I'm sure he trained for Volkan a little bit, right? But I'm sure a lot of his training was, okay, well, we would have had to jump in for Jones. I got to fucking face this short little wrestler. Well, what about the jump in for DC? I got to fight a rangy, tall striker. Like, oh, shit. I'm sure, like, you know what I mean? So I think his head's going to be all mixed up and fucked up for the next couple of days until, DC makes weight and John Jones doesn't get arrested and shit. And then he's going to have to fucking focus on Volkan. And I think Volkan's going to catch him. I think his Manuwa he gets upset. I don't know if you heard any, like, his interviews. Like, I was at MM. Shit. I I apologize for not knowing the name of the fucking podcast. It's actually a pretty legit podcast, but he was on there. It was like MMA Palin or Palin, whatever the fuck. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, he was on there, and he sounds super salty that he's not even being mentioned by fans in the title picture. That the UFC sort of talking about him.
You've got to understand though, from again, this is the thing. If you're from anywhere outside of the United States, you don't get sniff. Like, we don't, like, obviously there's an exception with Conor, but anybody else, if you're not from the States, and the only reason Conor's a huge name is because there's a lot of like Irish descendants in the States. That's the only reason Conor's a huge name.
There's a lot of fake Irish here.
Yeah, but you've got to take into account there's a lot in like on the east side and whatnot. Right. But the point being is that's one of the main reasons that he's been such a crossover star. But if you're anything else, if you're English and you're trying to be a star in the States, good luck. Good luck.
Oh, for sure.
Because they ain't trying to give shit. The Americans don't want to give anybody outside of the United States a sniff.
Which is funny as fuck, because they chant USA, USA in a fight with two Americans. Like they were Weidman and Gastelum. These motherfuckers people are that fucking smart here. Anyway, but Michael Bisping did it, but he had to be an asshole to do it. This is hilarious.
Yeah, but people wanted to see him get beat. They didn't want to see him win. They wanted to see him get beat.
Oh, for sure. Fucking Rocky IV. What did you want to see? What do you think people here want to see? The Russian win? No. They want to see Rocky beat the shit out of a tall Russian. He has no business beating, by the way. If that fight had gone down for real, please believe that tall, rangy motherfucker with a 10-inch reach advantage boxes his face off. It's over. That fight doesn't even go decision, dude. That goes knockout in 3 rounds. Okay, so please believe that shit.
It's Klitschko versus David Haye.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what it is. Mind you, fucking Anthony Joshua against Klitschko too. Woo!
Yeah, but saying that
it's in fucking Vegas.
Like 7'9" himself. Like they're both big motherfuckers.
Oh, I agree. But I mean, like on a separate little tiny tangent. Why the? I understand the money's in Vegas. Okay. But that's such a European fight. What the fuck?
It is. They're trying to get him ready to come over to the States, man.
Oh, he's coming. If he beats Klitschko again, first of all, shout out to Vladimir Klitschko. He has one of the finest women on the planet.
100.
And she's so fine, it's retarded. Like But I'm an Anthony Joshua fan, man. Like Andre Ward's my favorite boxer, like of all time. Not all time, but like my favorite boxer, like that's active right now. Yeah. All time Muhammad Ali. I can't fuck with that.
But Tyson's my boy, man. Like,
dude, I'm a Tyson fan, but I'm not like Muhammad Ali's the whole package. He did it first. So
I'm going to throw this out there, and this is an argument to have it another day. But I think a prime Tyson would have fucked a prime Ali up. I'm just saying.
I think Prime Ali would have danced his way around him and gassed him out, and then crack, game. We'll never know, but it's fun to think about it. Anyway, all right, let's get off the boxing.
Let's go to the brawlers. This is the people's fight. This is the fight for the fans. This is the why not? Fuck it, let's do it. Robbie Lawler versus Cowboy Baby.
Why did lose for Lawler?
How so?
Okay, let's go over it. He loses to a 155er, or he beats a 155er.
Yeah, but he's not really.
No. I'm saying right. This fight isn't about moving up for a title shot. This is just to have a fight. It's gonna be sick, and you can get a bonus out of it. You know what I mean? But if Lawler beats Cerrone, okay, you beat a 155er. You really want to move up and get a title shot off of that? You're not getting that. More than likely. That being said, I kind of wish he'd gotten the rematch, but I think Lawler's getting smarter. He's like, let's take a warm-up fight. Let's not get knocked the fuck out, and then get my rematch. Here's the thing: you got 2 technical guys. As chaotic as Cerrone and Lawler fights are, they're pretty fucking technical. Don't you agree?
Sorry, I'm just Brad Wharton just put just snapshot a fucking picture of this right now, and he just put, "Is that great wallpaper, or are you sat outside?"
Oh, you? Is that wallpaper?
What do you think?
It looks like wallpaper.
It's fucking wallpaper. Of course, it's fucking wallpaper.
Why the fuck would you put that on your wall? Why don't you just put real rocks?
Because like this is an old ass house. This is like an old building. Like the bricks underneath here are probably fucking like red bricks from like 1940 or some bullshit. Like what are you talking about? Like my house would probably crumble if I didn't have like some shit above it. What are we talking about right now?
I don't know. I'm just asking. Like, I don't know. I've never been in your house, dude. You're on the other side of the fucking ocean. I have no clue.
Oh my days, that's funny as fuck.
Is that great
Sorry,
wallpaper?
you were saying about Robbie Lawler and Cowboy. My
Oh, I
apologies.
just saw it right now. Holy shit, that's pretty great. That's Brad.
I'm bugging out.
Shout out to Brad. What up, dude?
Oh.
That's pretty fucking funny.
I don't even know what to say. That's why it threw me off. Like as soon as I read it, I was like, "Oh,
I forgot what we were talking about."
yeah." I lost the fucking plot, and I didn't know where to go with it. I was like, "Well,
Hey,
this is gone."
the shitty part is I thought about doing that to you once or twice, like asking you about that. I just completely forgot to.
God.
All right, let's get back on. Let's get back on point. What were we talking about?
Yeah, Robbie Lawler and Cowboy.
Right. So
if he wins and all that kind of jazz.
right, so super technical, two technical guys. I mean, look at the way Cerrone demolished Rick Story, right? And then Robbie Lawler loves to use that right hand to set up his attack. It's fun. They're both really technical guys. This is gonna look like a super technical fight for the first round and a half or so, and then someone's gonna just hit the switch and it's gonna become a ridiculous brawl. I think. That being said, I have a feeling that Robbie Lawler is going to come back not wanting to get knocked out again. So he's not. He might come back and not take those chances he used to take that got him into brawls. You know what I mean? He used to take chances. They used to get him into ridiculous brawls, and because he never got knocked out, or not never, but he normally wouldn't get knocked out. He'd be fine with it. I think he's going to come back and be super careful on this one, dude. Really. I really think he's going to be careful in this fight for at least the first half of the fight. And then, you can't fucking take the I don't know how to fucking put it in a way where it doesn't sound like totally stupid. But regardless, you can't take the fight out of the guy. As soon as he gets hit with something, he's hit, switch is going to snap and it's going to be brawl time. And I hope that happens in the third round.
Right. I see this playing out a lot differently if I'm being completely honest.
No kidding. Okay.
I genuinely think that, bear in mind that Robbie's been training with Henry Hoof.
Mm-hmm.
So his striking is going to be a little bit more strategical in a sense. But I don't think that that's going to take away from the, no pun intended, but the ruthlessness that you do usually see from Robbie. I personally think that we've seen, we know that southpaws cause Cowboy a lot of problems.
A lot of problems. Nick
Diaz, Anthony Pettis, the list goes on.
Is Masvidal lefty, by the way?
I can't remember off the top of my head if I'm being completely honest. But that just with that same person said, with that same person said, should I say, Masvidal was catching Cowboy with a lot of straights the same way that Nate was as well. Throwing those 1-2s down the pipe. It just seems to, because he has that high stance, it goes straight through. Like I personally feel that Robbie, his 1-2 he used against Roy McDonald, straight down the pipe.
Oh, it's hard too.
Exactly. He's a fucking heavy-handed guy, and I feel that the main things for me is I think that if he can turn this into a brawl, can Robbie? I don't want to make out that Robbie's a brawler. In a sense, he is. He's a very technical brawler, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that with that southpaw stance, he has quite a good power kick on him, and I think if he can get in with them straights and he can dig something into that body, whether it be a kick, whether it be a knee, whether it even be a lefty hook to the body, I think he can cause serious damage to Cowboy. With that said, Cowboy has two options in this fight. He either has to stand on the outside and not get stupid and not see the bright lights and not go, fuck it, I'm going to bang with him because this is what the people want. He has to do one of two things. He has to either stay on the outside and be smart and strategic, and I think he needs to chop that lead leg, and I think he needs to kick the fucking shit out of it, potentially go for a takedown towards the back end of the first and maybe the second round, and then try and go for the kill in the third. That's, for me, the way that Cowboy's going to win that fight. Or lure him in, get those feints, get that leg kick off right so that you can slow down the movement, but you can kind of see the feints and kind of with the feints, you can see how Robbie's going to react to him and then time that head kick because he's going to have the power kick on his opposite stance to what Lawler's going to be facing him because obviously he'll be fighting in southpaw. So that head kick is very dangerous of Cowboys. That's the kind of way I can see him getting the knockout, but otherwise he's going to have to pepper him, and then he's going to have to try and get the takedown to try and work a submission. The only problem is though is Robbie has very underrated ground game. He uses like butterflies a lot to try and get out, so he's a very difficult guy to kind of keep down. But still, racking up them points. But I do kind of favor Robbie in this.
Yeah, I'm taking Robbie, dude.
I'm going Robbie. I'm going to go Robbie with the TKO within the distance. I don't know when. I presume I'm going to go with first. If I'm going to throw my balls to the wall, my fake brick wall, I'm going to go with Robbie in the first. I think he's going to catch him with either 1-2, or he's going to hit him with something dark in the body.
Did you pick that wallpaper, by the way?
Yeah, 100.
So when you went to go pick it up, that's what I want. I want a brick wall on my fake wall. I want a fake brick wall on my real wall.
Why not, bro?
I'm just wondering. It's weird. Anyway,
motherfuckers.
Now that's a grip behind you. That's all I'm thinking about is this stupid fucking wallpaper. No,
you motherfucker.
I'm joking, dude. Anyway, I'm with you, dude. Robbie Lawler by TKO and winning the distance. Here's the thing about Cowboy is I've seen him quit.
Yeah.
I've seen him quit against Nate. We've seen him quit against Jorge Masvidal. We saw him start slow against RDA. It's not a good look. And you're not taking on fucking Rick Story here. You're taking on fucking Robbie Lawler, who's a legit 170er, not a 155er. I like Cowboy. I enjoy watching Cowboy fight. Even if Robbie Lawler wins, there's not that much that he doesn't lose very much, right? Cowboy. Oh, lost at 170. Cool. See ya. I'm back to lightweight. Okay.
The one thing that I think is really good for Cowboy is he's had a lot of time off. He's had a good period of time off, and we see him too many times rush from fight to fight. The head trauma. The one thing that I will say is that's a good point for Cowboy is that he's had a rest. The second thing, like you mentioned earlier, will Robbie Lawler be tentative after such a vicious knockout from Tyron Woodley?
I mean, we're going to find out about Robbie Lawler in this one. He's been gone over a year, right? Or under a year? A little under a year?
It's at least a year. At least a year.
We're going to see whether or not he's willing to take risks again, Mind you, when Tyron Woodley caught him, that way he just made a mistake. I forgot exactly what he did. I think he kept his hands down and ate one nasty, right?
Either way, man,
I can't remember the sequence.
It lasts, man, and like he had the war before that. He had a war before that. How much, how many times can his ticket get punched? That's the other question.
That's very true. It's very true. Yeah, Robert Lawler did TKO though. I just got him on that.
100%. Who's next? We
have the first title fight of the night: Cyborg against Tanya Evinger.
How do you feel about that?
Tanya Evinger. She's gonna win.
You're fucking with me, right?
I'm serious. She's gonna win.
You're fucking with me. Come on.
I love the spoiler. I'm picking the spoiler.
Right. I didn't know much. I'll be completely honest about Evinger before. Prior to her, the only thing I'd ever seen is her and Victor kissing the chick, the presenter.
That was hilarious.
After just throwing up, that's the only thing that I knew about her. I'll be completely honest. I didn't know much about her.
And kissed her.
Shame on me. Blah blah blah. But I can see why. I can see. And you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of like every small like wrestler ever in MMA history. She throws a big overhand and she goes in for the takedown, and then she scrambles to get a submission of sorts, or like to get top position or take the back. Like she scrambles, and that's kind of it. Cyborg's got ridiculous jiu-jitsu. We know this. She's got ridiculously heavy hands and heavy strikes. We know this. We know that she's deadly in the clinch. I just think, fuck that noise. I think she gets fucking battered. You know, I in a sense, I do hope that Avenger wins because it'd be just fucking hilarious. Did you know though that apparently there's a rematch clause?
For who?
If Cyborg loses, then she gets a rematch straight away.
Sounds like someone's not so goddamn confident.
Yeah, but that might be just because obviously she was supposed to fight Megan Anderson.
Yeah, but if you were confident about winning, why would you be like, yeah, hey, if I lose?
No, but it's probably because the reason for that is because this was the last fight on Cyborg's contract, wasn't it? So if she was to win the title, she could leave with the title per se, you know.
No, I wonder if she loses. If she loses, she leaves anyway.
What does the thing that I was talking about, the Alundra Blaze WWE thing, where she goes to
Why not?
with the women's belt and drops it in the trash live on Bellator TV? Come on,
I would do it.
I would too.
She's salty. She's salty. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but she's been wanting. She's been fucking dying to be on that fucking hit for too long now. Come on, let's play it fair.
Yeah. Here's what I like about Avenger. Avenger does not give a single solitary fuck about anyone's reputation. Every time she fought someone in Invicta that was supposed to beat her, she mauled them, right? Every fucking time. She don't give a shit about it. I mean, she showed up to the fucking presser in overalls, dude. What up?
Fucking Brad just tweeted me. If you put $100 on Evanger to win by submission, you'd get $1,500 back.
Who am I do that?
Fuck that noise. I bet you I could bet my house on Cyborg winning and I'd just get my house back.
Ah, jeez. Okay, here's the thing. Avenger, I want, because, I mean, when's the last time someone tried to take Cyborg down? Well, let me take it back. No one's ever had time to try and take Cyborg down.
Yeah, but
I think Avenger's right. I think Avenger's gonna be ready to fucking get out of the way of those punches and try and get a single leg or a double. That being said, the size difference is ridiculous. It really is fucking crazy.
It is.
My pick is solely based on hoping for a ridiculous amount of chaos in this card.
You know what's really crazy? Cyborg actually has a 2-inch reach deficit.
Huh?
She's actually got the smaller reach as Cyborg.
No shit.
Apparently, from what I'm reading, she has a
68-inch.
Avenger has a 70.
Yo, she's only an inch taller than Avenger?
Exactly.
Bruh.
The difference is though is muscle mass. Oh my god, Brad, fuck you, man. You'd get your fucking
I just saw it.
Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they be taking you like, yeah, fuck that, dude. We're doing you a favor. Rip, man.
Bitch.
You should have answered that question, dude. You should have answered that question.
100% now. I'm gonna sit on the other couch where it just has like normal paint on it. Just fucking 100%.
Anyway, all right. So, all right. Anyway, dude, it's so hard to fucking. Even yesterday we did Crossbones. We Keyboard Warriors. We did our UFC 214 pre-fight show, and I picked Evanger off just chaos alone, right? But I'm trying to fucking find a way she could win. The only way I see it is if she somehow, you just said it yourself, you overhand right and you shoot. That's what happens every time. So like a wrestler shoots, right? If she lands that, she don't even have to hurt Cyborg. She just stuns her enough to make her freeze up for a split second. Gets that takedown, gets on top. I want to see Cyborg's ground game.
Yeah, but apparently she's sick as fuck on the ground. Like,
yeah, I haven't seen it. Have you?
Trains with Gabby Garcia. Like, what the fuck is Evanger gonna do?
Go train with gorillas in the fucking zoo. That's what she should do. Fucking A, man.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though is like Evanger. Right, all due respect, Evanger's a tough chick, badass as it comes. But like everything just screams to me like Cyborg fights with fucking like 180, 170 fucking men.
That's true. Is it bad?
She rolls jiu-jitsu with a 240-pound chick.
Okay. That's true. Here's the thing. Let's be honest. Cyborg's probably going to win this fight, but I'm picking Evanger in the hopes that I can start talking shit to all these hashtag Team Cyborg people on Twitter. That's all I want to do.
I'm with you. It'd be hilarious to see Cyborg go away and everybody be like, "Oh, she's the greatest ever." And it's like she got beat by Evanger, like a chick who couldn't even get to the UFC. Political view, political reasons, but aside, the point still being is she couldn't get into the UFC. She got brought up on a backup.
Oh yeah.
That's
I was me
purely it.
laughing at you. Don't worry.
No, I was just putting something on TV up so that I've got some.
All right. Anyway, all right. So we're done with this fight, dude. I mean, come on. I can't think of anything.
Cyborg by knockout in the first round.
All right. Average by submission. I get $1,500, bitch.
Oh my god! By submission, yeah.
Yeah. All right. It won't be armbar because those arms are too big. I'm gonna say something crazy.
Get the back.
It'll be no. I think it'll be something crazy like a fucking heel hook in MMA.
Get the fuck out of
it, bro.
Right now, I'm just like I'm so disappointed in you.
Bro, if Evander gets a heel hook in MMA, all right, on Chris Cyborg, and pops her fucking knee out, you got to wear overalls in the next show.
Oh, why the fuck do I have to wear overalls?
I'm just joking.
What the
fuck? All right, never mind. All right. Let's move on. This shit fucking hit a fucking stall because of your stupid wall.
You turning around and saying that to me is like me turning around and saying you have to wear a mankini because Cyborg wins by knockout. Like
that doesn't make sense. I don't want to see Cyborg in a mankini either. At least
everybody not fucking Cyborg.
Oh yeah, none of that shit. No, fuck that. All right, moving on, man.
Let's go to the co.
Let's talk about our boy. We got a guy in this fight. We have a guy.
Baby, we did it.
Damian motherfucking Maia, dude, by backpack. He's gonna. Tyron Woodley's wearing a backpack for at least 2 rounds or 3 rounds. I'm telling you see the height difference, motherfucker? Like everyone was like, "Oh, Damian Maia is skinny. Tyron Woodley's jacked." Okay, it's just side by side. Damian Maia had height on him, and he's a little big.
He's got Tyron Woodley is 5'9" and Damian Maia is 6 foot, and Damian Maia has Tyron Woodley has a 2-inch reach advantage. With that said, we know that when Damian Maia rehydrates, he's got to be pushing up to the 195 mark easily.
That guy cuts. Don't get it twisted. This guy used to fight 185 for a fucking reason. Okay, he cuts. But flying armbar, bro. How about that? Just kidding. I wish. How crazy would it be? Here's your 2-inch. I see your 2-inch reach advantage, and I raise you an armbar, flying armbar, bitch. Tap. I'd be sick as fuck. But here's the thing about it, dude. I think everyone's underestimating Damian Maia's ability to get in the clinch and get on his back. Everyone's like, oh, Woodley's just gonna stay away from him. He's just gonna stay away from him, and just strike and move, and basically point him and shit. Or he's gonna knock him out. Yeah, fair points. Could happen. Everyone's trying to do that with Damian Maia. None of them have fucking worked outside of Anderson Silva. You know what I'm saying?
And even that wasn't.
Oh, and yeah, and that wasn't like fucking for sure. You were like, ooh, shit, Anderson Silva's about to get a little fucked here. And then then it got clownish and it got stupid. So, that fight was so bad. Dana White was just pissed about it. Remember that shit?
Never going to Dubai again.
Yeah. We're done with that. But regardless, dude, it's our time. We're gonna get this is so reminiscent of 1993 Hoist Gracie, just whooping everyone's ass with just jiu-jitsu. Like if he was wearing a gi, it'd be too much. You know what I mean? But it'd be legit if he was. Like if he goes in there with a fucking rash guard and shorts and spats, it would be hilarious.
I may be wrong in saying this, but if I remember correctly, if Damian Maia was to if he was to win by submission in this fight, he would actually hold the record for the most submissions in UFC history, I believe.
I can't think of anyone else that would have it.
Because I think the only other person was Hoist.
Oh shit, that's an old record. That'd be legit.
Well, you've got to bear in mind how many times he used to submit people within the tournaments he was in. So
true. All right, but let's say okay. Let's go. Let's look at the other side. I'm assuming we're both picking Maia here. Let's look at the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not. Oh, okay, go ahead.
No. All I was gonna say is no. I'm picking Maia because I think he's the bigger guy. We've seen that Tyron Woodley can be very cautious, and I think that if Maia can get, even if he has to pull a single, even if he has to pull half, should I say, he could do that, and he could still end up winning the round because we've seen Damian Maia do it. Because if he can't take you down, he'll pull guard. And he will pull and he will take your back, whether you like it or not. You know, everybody will go, Masvidal won't be able to, you know, be prevented from getting back up. Damian Maia doesn't have a chance of keeping him grounded. Did it. Now, Tyron Woodley, the other key things is for this, I think that Damian Maia could bag the first 3 rounds as well. And then he, you know, if Damian Maia's smart, he takes off the 4th, maybe tries in the 5th, or he just says, fuck it, I'm 3 rounds up. The alternative, this is my only other thing though, and this is the danger. This is where there's 2 major problems. If Damian Maia comes in close and he doesn't assess the moment right, you could get stashed. He could get sent to fucking back to Brazil. His head could be in Brazil. His body may still be.
Oh, Brad's got the stats. 10 of them.
Oh, so if Damian Maia wins by sub, he'll be on 10, equal to Hoyce. Still a fucking credit.
Come on, Maia. Let's go. All right.
The only other thing is if he pulls half as well, and Woodley just looks down at him and goes, Wapa!
That's what I don't like about pulling guard in an MMA. If you don't do it exactly correct, timed perfectly, your arms are down, your head's up, and you're getting fucked on the way down. That's what happens. So, yeah, if he gets too close, I just don't think Tyron Woodley wants to get that close. I think he's afraid of the clinch with you know, old backpack over here. He's gonna be wearing a JanSport on his back in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? All we gotta do is put a represent logo on fucking Maia's back, and he's a represent backpack immediately. Fucking easy. But I mean, look, anything can happen with that shit. I don't know. I like Woodley. I'm a fan of Woodley's. I'm a bigger fan of Jiu-Jitsu, and we got a guy in there. I can't fucking help it. It's like if Mexico was playing the World Cup, I got a team in there. I got to go with it. I can't boo anybody else. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I got Damian Maia, dude. So I think it's rear naked choke. I think he's gonna finish. I think, you know what? I think it's gonna be so crazy that Tyron Woodley's gonna be like, "What the fuck's going on?" That's what's gonna happen. He's not even gonna get time to tap. For real.
I'm going Damian Maia with a submission because I've got to will it. I've got to manifest it into it happening. I'm going with Damian Maia.
Let me. All right, I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna give you the sequence. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Tyron Woodley's gonna fuck up.
Eddie.
Yeah. Tyron Woodley's gonna fuck up. He's gonna. Oh, he's okay. Let me fast forward here. They're gonna end up on the ground for some reason. Let's say Tyron Woodley gets crazy, gets cocky.
You just missed out the most important part of the sequence.
No, fuck that part. Let's get to the back. Okay, now. How could this happen? All right. You know what? I think Tyron Woodley's he's gonna have Tyron Woodley underestimates Damian Maia's ability to shoot and take him down. He doesn't sprawl like to his best ability. Gets taken down, and in the scramble trying to get up, good old Damian Maia gets the back, gets the hooks in. You know what I mean? Starts working on the neck, and then switches to the body lock. Once you're in that body lock, you're Foxville with Maia. Unless you're like, Masvidal, all credit to him. I think he's gonna get out of that shit. He got out of it like one time, but it took a lot of effort to get out.
Nelson got ragdolled.
Nelson got murdered. So let's say 4th round, Tyron Woodley's massive muscles need a lot of oxygen. He's tired. Good old Damian Maia on the backpack in the body lock. Start sneaking it under that chin, little couple shots here and there. You know, you start getting the arm under the chin, crack him the way Nate got Connor, get the chin around the way, boom, boom, hug him to sleep. And then Tyron Woodley's like, oh, it's not, what the fuck's going on? And that's it. And then fucking Mazzagatti takes 10 minutes to fucking stop the fight.
Oh.
Just kidding. Oh. I don't know who's rapping, but if it's Mazzagatti, if I'm Tyron Woodley, I'm like, no, fuck out of here with that bullshit.
No.
Do you see that Chiesa wants to fight him?
He wants to have a grappling contest with him. Like, come on.
Isn't Mazzagatti like a million years old? He's like in his 60s, right?
But isn't he a black belt as well, though, in Jiu-Jitsu? I believe.
Oh, no, sure, that's fine. But in your 50s, it's a little different than facing a fucking young gun. That's way bigger than you, too, probably.
Yeah, 100%. So they're gonna be at Submission Underground next month.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know who I know is looking at that fight and goes, hey, why not, man? It's Eddie Bravo.
No,
Eddie Bravo's probably looking at
it's
that.
definitely Chael Sonnen because he's like, why not? Fuck it, freak show, let's do it.
Yeah, in gis though, has to be gi. I don't think Mazzagatti wants to roll with the no gi shit. There's no way. He needs that stall time to catch his breath and shit. God, I hate stalling. I fucking hate stalling. The other day I was rolling and I got stalled. I was so pissed too. I'm like, get your foot out of my fucking arm with the spider guard shit. Stop stalling. You're not doing anything. You're just breathing.
This is why I don't do gi.
Here's the thing. I like gi. Well, okay, I enjoy gi when it's someone that is like, constant offense. I'm cool with that. But that's what I like about no gi. It's hard to stop. It's very difficult to stall somebody in no gi. In gi, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna grab your arm, put my foot in your fucking gi. I'm gonna yank on it, so you're a fucking puppet at that point, and I'm gonna hold you here and wait. So stupid shit. Anyway, but back to the fight. Damian Maia's gonna win this shit. Let's be real.
100. I'm gonna go with the submission, and I'm gonna go in the 4th. He's gonna get the sub.
Rear naked choke, 4th round, and Tyron Woodley's going unconscious because he's a bad motherfucker too, and he's gonna be like, yeah, fuck tapping. I'm gonna fight till I'm out. That's it.
That's gonna be insane. The long-awaited, much anticipated main event. We finally may see.
I was gonna say, don't jinx that shit, dog. We still got how many hours till Friday?
If you haven't seen the GIF that I've fucking that I put out of Dana White, Sean Shelby, Braxton Gene Nowitzki, that if you don't believe that's happening right now, you're an idiot. They are 100% keeping him the fuck away from John Jones. They are trying their best to hide John Jones from the entire planet. 100%. They are trying to avoid any scandals. They've locked him in his room like a crackhead trying to fucking rehab in his own house. Like they're just trying to keep him away from the entire planet. And I hope they do.
You want to know what they're doing? They're keeping him with a camera in his ass. Like there's a camera in his ass, just in case he gets too crazy. Like. They fucking figure speech, regardless.
Oh, right.
For sure.
Like,
yeah. They're gonna have a camera. I know. They're gonna have a camera on him at all times, just in case he gets crazy. He starts trying to think, let's take a little bump here, Joey Diaz style. Fucking trying to take a little bump here, get a little high and shit. Not a big deal, right? No, I think if I'm the UFC, I keep like a camera on him at all times. Like every move outside of a bowel movement is getting recorded. You know what I mean? Just cause. Meanwhile, DC, DC just needs that. You ever seen that? I don't know if it was on a cartoon or a show or something, or it might have been a bit. I think it might have been like a bit on a comedy stand-up comedy. I apologize if you guys know who it is. Fucking send it to me because I want to give credit. But they were talking about hiring someone to like smack food out of your hand. Like, I would have someone to smack shit out of DC's hand. Oh, just one bite of chicken. It'll be like the Kemi Mutombo from the Nuggets back in the day. Just boom! No!
Chip, wasn't that the I don't know if it's the same thing. There's a music video and it's killing me because it's like some kind of pop punk-esque kind of band, and it's like I smack it to the ground.
Oh, fucking Lonely Island.
Lonely Island. That's who.
Is it Lonely Island? Or was like I threw it on the ground?
I think you're right. I smack it to the ground. I think that's the same premise of what you're saying, though.
Okay, well, that's the point. Fucking do that shit. Anyway, regardless, all right, let's talk about the fight itself.
No, can I just say one thing? This fight's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen.
Indulge, please. Go ahead.
I've got a really bad feeling. I don't think John Jones fucks up. I don't think he mows anybody down. I don't think he gets caught fucking any prostitutes. I don't think he gets caught with snow dripping out of his face. But I've got a horrible, horrible feeling that we're going to get a DC Khabib moment.
Okay, now you saying missing weight or getting sick?
Sick.
No shit. You want Jimmy Manuwa to fight for the title that badly?
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm just joking, dude.
No, I'm not saying that. I genuinely think when you've seen him over these past couple of days,
he looks like shit.
And additional, he said that he's weighing in, and this was yesterday during the press conference.
Yeah, like 215.
Said that he was weighing at 210 pounds already.
That's
slightly concerning because usually they try and keep within that 8 to 10 pound range to cut.
Right, but it also sounds like a lie. Does
I
it
don't
look to
know.
you?
He looks like he looks like he's close to the death door. Like when he weighs in at 205 pounds, he doesn't look great.
Well, that's true. He looks like shit now too. So,
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think he's near
mhm.
to his. That's why I think he's near to the 205 weight.
Here's the thing. The difference is, I think DC would still fight.
I think he might not have a chance. He might not have the fucking choice.
Well, I mean, we'll see tomorrow if he needs fucking help getting on the scale. Mind you, there's not gonna be a towel to hold on to. But
Because you know that fucking John Jones is going to be stood there like, you get your fucking hands off the towel, you cheating motherfucker.
oh, dude, yeah, California Athletic Commission is not fucking around. They're like, yeah, fuck New York. Was it New York?
Yeah,
That was New York, whatever it was. That shit. Yeah, New York. Yeah. I don't remember. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I fucking.
Yeah, it was New York. It was New York.
It was it. Okay. So
Sure.
you think DC drops out and they put Jimmy Manuwa in there?
I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. I'm just saying that I think that even they might pull the fight. Because remember, hey, I'm just saying this to you. Remember when John Jones said that he wouldn't save the card? Like he wants to fight.
Oh, 171, 170.
Exactly.
Oh no, you mean the one that got the card got completely canceled?
Yeah, but because he
Okay,
wouldn't take a short notice fight against somebody else. He says,
Right.
if I've got a game plan for somebody, that's who I'm fighting. I'm not fighting anybody else. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody else thinks. That is what I'm doing because I'm a champion and I don't fight people for the fun of it. I fight to be a champion and to be the winner.
I like how like the popular thing is, if you're a champion, you fight whoever's next. You fight whoever's next. I'm not gonna fight because I'm the champion. What? Well, hey, look, it's possible. Look, DC looked like shit. He's looked like shit the whole week, but that's what he normally looks like. What I wonder is if all the media shit is starting to fuck with him a little bit. You know what I mean?
John Jones or DC?
No, DC. John Jones, I fully believe that he's fucking bought into him being a total douchebag. I think he's bought in all the way. Fucking perfect though too, because he's that character. Let's go back to pro wrestling. You know, he's not a he's what was it? Who was it that Stone Cold tried his best to be a heel and everyone loved him for it? You know what I mean?
He's the anti-hero. That's what he is.
He's the anti-hero that everyone loved. He's like, you know what I mean? He's like, he's not exactly like he's like a bad guy, but he's cheered for. People love him for.
He's the Punisher.
There you go. Yeah. But I mean, he's like the Stone Cold character. I mean, just recently he was just like, I mean, he's always playing the whole character. He's like, yeah, I mean, I know how Dana is. He's, we're icy or whatever. We're ice cold in a relationship or some bullshit like that. It's the same thing. So, yeah, I like this John Jones. But that being said, the fight itself, I can't help but see DC, being all quiet. They ask him a question there. He's like, yeah. Well, this and this and this and this and this and this. And then John Jones is like, hey, John Jones, how do you feel about DC? Fuck DC. He says it, which is fuck DC. DC's on the other side, all looking all tired, like, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That weight cut is not fucking with John Jones, it seems. Either that or he's about to miss weight. One or the other. And I don't think he's gonna miss weight. So yeah. So my thing, I don't think DC's gonna miss a fight. I think he fights. My thing is whether or not he's going to make weight. That's my issue. Like, by the way, John Jones' line of you're the only 206.2 pound champion of all time, fucking genius. I loved it. But there's not gonna be a title to hang on to here. When he weighs in, isn't it one chance you get to weigh in? That's it.
I thought you had a 2 or 3 hour 2 hour period where you can go away and come back because that's what they did for DC and Rumble Johnson because everybody was like, well, you went away for half an hour and you came back and you lost 1.2 pounds.
Some people take big shits, but or they hold on to the towel like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, here's the thing about I don't. First of all, New York's a shit show, so that could very possibly not even be the case that it's a real thing. But if it is for California, that would help him because it would tell him, look, I think DC's gonna, you give him a second chance, he makes weight. I just think that's what happens. But regardless, that's my fear. My concern is more about DC making weight than it is about him showing up to the fight.
I think that personally, seeing this kind of John Jones, I think that you're going to see. I think you know what, right? We saw John Jones manhandle DC like nobody else has done before. Nobody. And I think that fear of John Jones overpowering him again will be deeply rooted in his heart. I really do. And additional to that, with that same thing said, you know, John Jones does the complete opposite of every game plan you expect for John Jones to do. John Jones is going to go against the wrestler. Cool. He's going to stay long. He's going to be rangy. He's going to strike from distance. He's going to, hit in and out, stick and move, and wear you down. No, he's going to come and he's going to fucking wrestle you because John Jones does what John Jones wants. That's always been the case. The additional thing is, which is absolutely terrifying, if I'm DC, is he was able to dominate me in what I was best at. And over this past how long has he been properly absent apart from the OSP fight? He's been absent for like 2 years.
About
all he's been training to a degree is jiu-jitsu. So now, and we've already seen how dangerous he is on the ground as well. We saw how he's not exactly a slouch in his grappling to start with. But with that same thing said, I think now with that more educated mind, it's another tool. And if he takes DC down, do not be surprised if John Jones finishes him by submission. Do not be surprised. And that is what my prediction is. I'm going to go with John Jones to win by submission, and I'm going to go with the second or first round. And I genuinely am putting that out there.
DC's going to knock him out.
Get the fuck out of here.
DC's going to knock him out, bro.
Shut the fuck up.
It'll be old school, jab, overhand.
This is not Matt Sarah's GSP, motherfucker. This is not happening.
But what? No. But what if it is?
Yeah, but that's the thing of like, you can say that with any fight. Like, you could say like, fucking, what if Damian Maia throws like a fucking head kick and knocks out Tyron Woodley?
Well, certainly. But here's the thing: is Damian Maia? I don't think he's knocked anybody out like that ever at all. I don't know. But
DC's not known for knocking folk out.
Not known for it, but he's done it. Look, I'm just saying this. At this point, this fight's almost... Yeah, dude, look. I'm telling you right now. Little short fat guy's going to land a jab, overhand right and knock your boy out.
My boy?
Okay,
my boy? I'm joking. My boy is if you're not like on the John Jones hype train. Like, you just said that. Like, get the fuck out of
here. Okay, let's be real. DC needs to come out and put mad pressure on John Jones. But in order to win, he needs to hurt John Jones in the first 3 rounds. This is just the way I see it. You got to go in there and you got to do whatever you can to pressure John and hurt him. Hurt him in the body, hurt him in the head, just hurt him. Why? Because then you make it easier to wrestle fucking for 4th and 5th rounds.
I think that you're right with the body stuff, and I think that it'd be very, very acute to go with the leg kicks as well. But he's not known for being a big leg kicker.
Exactly, but neither was Kane. And Kane was throwing wheel kicks, huh?
Well, yeah, okay, that's fair. But I'm going to say that if he works the body and works the legs, he will have a great opportunity in the latter rounds to go for the submission. But then with that same thing said, if John Jones has been drilling his jiu-jitsu as well as what we think he has over this past 2 years, then, those long fucking legs, long arms, he could catch something off of his fucking back.
Right, but you said it yourself. He punishes the body, punishes the legs. Like I don't know about you. I've trained, tired, and beat up, and I can barely lift my legs up. I'm sure you can. I can't. Right. Yeah, but you're also not doing it
altogether. Like no, but it is though. Like no. But we've got to be completely respectful here. Like we're talking about a 39-year-old DC.
Yeah,
against
for sure.
Against a prime John Jones. This is where we talk about as well. This is another thing that I know. Older guys have won, Randy Couture, DC, There's people who have been older and they've done well in the latter years. But the point still remains is at the end of the day, Father Time catches up to you. And regardless of if he punishes Jones to a degree, we've seen John Jones be able to dig deep in the 4th and 5th. We've seen it with Gustafsson. We've seen him being put through the trenches, and he's been able to climb his way through. So there's no reason for me. He broke his toe against Chael Sonnen. It was poking out the fucking foot, and he still managed to beat Chael Sonnen. I'm just saying that I still believe that even in those 4th and 5th rounds, if he's on his back, I think John Jones could still catch something and do something because it's John Jones. Like, people can say, dick hugging, ball hugging, and all this kind of other stuff. But the thing is, though, is we're talking about arguably, and most people would say, the most talented fighter in MMA history. Period. Doesn't matter if it was standing, doesn't matter if it was on the ground, doesn't matter if it was even submission stood up. It doesn't make a difference. We're talking about a guy who, has done everything wrong as far as his career, but he's still managed to beat the most decorated hit list by anybody's. You could compare his to Fedor's and anybody else, and in fairness, you could say that John Jones had a better record because of just the consistent wins.
Right. Look, and again, it's one of those things where it's like hard. It's not hard to pick DC, but your head goes towards John Jones winning, right? I like DC. A lot of people dislike DC. I like DC a lot. I think he's a better motherfucker, right? And I think he's done a lot in his career. And I think a win here would be the feather on the cap to go off in the sunset, right?
I still think there'll be question marks even if he beats John Jones by decision.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Especially if it's not a finish. If it's a finish, every John Jones fan out there's got to shut the fuck up.
I don't even agree with that because the thing is, people can turn around and go, well, he hasn't fought him forever. Ring rust. There's an
right. But here's the thing. No, listen. But John Jones himself has negated that. He, with his own talk, has negated the whole. Oh, well, he was gone for 2 years or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Fans don't care.
I know fans don't care. Fans are fucking fickle fuckers. All right,
exactly.
We are.
That's my point. So DC will never get the nod that he probably does deserve.
Right.
He beat Gustafsson? I didn't think he did.
I don't think so.
Exactly. So you look at that and you go, and then you look at the Rumble fight, the first one when he won the title. Fair enough, he won that fight. There's no question about it. But the second time he fought, well, Rumble looked the most dangerous that he's ever been. But then he already knew that he was retiring, like regardless of whether he would win or lost. So, he already had one foot out the door. So it's like, well, did he really beat Rumble, or did Rumble kind of go, fuck it, I'm done with this bullshit. I'll fight, but I'm not going to fucking go all out, and just kind of gave up before he even got in there. I know that's horrible to say, but it's still a case to be made. And then we go to John Jones, who hasn't competed in over a year, and the point being is, though, is I just feel sorry for DC that there's always going to be a question mark. Anderson Silva, he took him on like 3 days' notice, and he didn't finish him. These names that he's beaten, you go, did he beat him though? Really?
Did he beat him? Well, look, I agree with everybody that said that Anderson Silva was stalling, because he was. He was stalling in that fight. Anderson Silva stalled. Why? Because Anderson Silva, as talented as he is and as daring as he is, he's not a fucking idiot. Like, he knows that going in there with no training, no training camp on 2 days or days, like a 24 hours notice, was going to be a motherfucker. So he stalled. So I don't give that fucking Anderson Silva fight any credit, because DC also goes in there with the greatest of all time, arguably. Okay? So, mind fucked. As we know, DC can be mind fucked. It happened in the first fight, right? It might be happening now. He kept it pretty even until the last press conference where he started losing his shit a little bit. And you're like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh god, it's gonna be bad. You know what I mean? But look, man, I think let's talk about, because I mean, look, you pick Jones, right?
I'm going Jones first or second round via submission.
Okay, I'm taking DC decision. Okay. Yeah, dude, I'm taking DC decision.
You're really going with every underdog, really, in this entire card.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jesus.
This is gonna be one of the most entertaining cards ever, I think. If we get there, anyway. All right, let's talk about, just real quick. I want to ask you, because I know I'm actually kind of thin on time, but
Same.
If DC wins, okay, let's talk about the repercussions, not repercussions, what the results, or what comes out of a win for either guy. If John Jones wins, greatest of all time, right? Like, solidified.
Time regardless.
Right. But I mean, solidified. Like, you can shut the fuck up about the roids, the positive tests, the cokes, the cokehead shit, the strippers in the car.
It vindicates him, yeah. It does vindicate him.
Right. And he's the greatest heavyweight of all, or greatest fighter probably of all time. If DC wins, greatest light heavyweight of all time?
No.
Really?
No, because there's question. This is what I was saying before. There's question marks.
What's the question mark?
Did he beat Gustafsson?
You got the W?
No, but the point is, though, is people remember. Like, people remember.
But we were just talking about fans being fickle. What are we talking about here?
If you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody, and you will always put the question mark against them. Conor, perfect example. Then are you going to tell me Conor's going to be classed as the greatest featherweight or lightweight of all time? No, he won't be. There's no chance in hell he'll be considered that. But you know what? In a way, he should be. In a way, he should be for what he's achieved. But we're not going to do that because there's going to be the question mark: did he defend the 145 belt? No. Has he defended the 155 belt yet? Fair enough, not yet. There's potential for him to still do that. But the point still being is, though, if he doesn't, say he knocks out Floyd and never comes back, that's not there. So my point being is, though, there's always going to be anti-fans of DC the same way there is.
Certainly.
So there's going to, and because you're going against the majority as well, there's going to be people who are going to always say there's no way that he's the best. There's no way that he's the best. People will still, and I don't agree with them, but people will still argue Chuck Liddell's better, Randy Couture's better. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are going to throw these names out there because they don't want to give DC the credit. And I might be one of them to a degree. I do think he's one of the best light heavyweights of all time. Not disputing that. If I'm going on what he's done technically, I'd say he's arguably in the top 5. You could argue it if we're going on who he's beaten and this, that, and the other, but there's asterisks next to everything I look at. Did he beat Anderson Silva, the greatest of all time? Yeah, kind of. He almost got finished by fucking Anderson Silva in the 3rd round. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
he got hit to the body and he looked like he was going to fade out. And
it looked bad
and all over him. Did he beat Gustafsson? In a lot of people's opinions, no. There's just, the Rumble thing. Did he beat him the first time? Yes. But did Rumble train for him? No. Rumble didn't even train for him. He trained for John Jones. Okay.
Well, let me tell you. I'll go off on because I always do this shit. I go on different sports for examples. You and I believe Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time.
Of course.
Okay. Your kids and my kids, if I ever have any, and like everyone else's kids are gonna think LeBron James is the greatest of all time.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is because Jordan retired in the the start of 2000s, right? And it's still fresh in your mind and my mind. We're still alive, dude. We saw some of this shit, right? I think later on these kids are gonna be like, well, LeBron did this and LeBron did that. They're gonna talk they're gonna talk Michael Jordan out of the argument. It's going to happen. At some point, 11 titles for Bill Russell, greatest of all time. Will Chamberlain scored 100 points. Oh, greatest of all time.
I'll throw this at you then for a comparison of sports because we prior mentioned them. So, fresh in people's minds right now, the greatest boxer alive, quote unquote, is Mayweather.
Okay.
Would people of this generation say he's the greatest of all time? No. Most people would say Ali. And fucking fuck years before even I was watching boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Before you were watching boxing.
Mm-hmm.
But people still go to the furthest back. The same way you said people won't remember Michael Jordan, they'll all say that LeBron's the best. I could say to you, well, that's not necessarily true because look at Muhammad Ali compared to, say, Floyd Mayweather.
Right. But we're talking our opinion here. I'm talking about.
I know. I'm just saying though. The counter argument to that is that there's examples of certain people as well that you could turn around and say that person's the greatest of all time in their respective field, and that person's still remembered from before even our generation. They're still considered the greatest of all time. If you talk to a kid who's 10, 15-year-old who's into boxing balls deep, and they go, "Who's the greatest boxer of all time?" Nobody's saying Floyd. Nobody.
Oh, true.
Everybody's still going Ali. And they ain't even seen him fight. They've seen video clips on fucking YouTube.
Now that we're talking about this and completely off topic, I fucking saw, like, who was doing this shit? I went to a shoe store here at the mud on the street, and they were selling Tupac shirts. Okay? You had kids that weren't even alive when his music was out wearing Tupac shirts. I was so pissed off. I was like, these motherfuckers are wearing it because they think it's cool. Go fuck yourself. You don't know shit about Tupac. Maybe I'm too much of a purist when it comes to certain things. That might be the case. But it's just that bothers me that people forget history so quickly. Look, a lot of people are like you said a second ago, Conor McGregor is not the greatest featherweight of all time. You and I agree wholeheartedly that he's not going to go down as the greatest of all time. You know what I mean?
He might be the greatest combat sports fighter of all time if he knocks out Floyd, though. I will say that.
If he knocks out Floyd, the argument's there for sure. Okay, but but there's
anyway.
already people. No, did you watch the embedded videos yet?
No, I'm gonna watch them all tonight.
Okay.
So
Watch number 4. There's a fella on there who ends up taking a picture with Tanya Evinger, who tells her, "I have 6 Connor tattoos on my body." Homeboy tattooed Connor's face on his body 6 times, and he shows a couple of them. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. We were talking about fickle fans and all this shit, and what have you done for me lately? That's 100% true. It's gonna be up to the historians of the world to remember. Hey, there was so and so. LeBron James is the greatest of all time. Wait a minute. There was a guy named Michael Jordan. I want to go back and watch him a little bit, right? So it'll happen that way. I just believe that as a whole, the larger part of society is gonna forget all this shit. You know what I mean?
I think more people forget about DC because his entire career was not entire career. That's a very bold statement. Predominantly the biggest part of his career was always shadowed by John Jones, and I think that John Jones will always remain. For this time period, anyway, there could be a kid that's training in Bulgaria that's going to be the next greatest 205 or whatever. But I think that John Jones will remain that because more people, and this is the key thing, when we talk about certain people, we talk about we relate to them. Look, you look at Muhammad Ali, he was, a staple for black culture during that generation, and he was part of a culture, anti-war culture, which was taboo at the time,
right?
And he's cemented in that moment of history. You look at Mike Tyson, another example of he was kind of in that raw kind of Great Depression kind of era of like aggressive young men that wanted to do something, and they were kind of flickering between the good and the bad side of life. Relatable. Right. John Jones is the same. I just personally think that more people want to remember somebody who was great and they had a moment in time that reflected them. And I think nobody relates to DC. How many common men, have got all the shit together and,
right.
Are successful. Like, not many people. And that's what DC is. He's a company man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But then John Jones, he fucks up. He does things wrong. And I'm not saying I agree with anything he does, completely against. But you relate to him. So he's like the people's champion, even though it's not right. And I feel sorry for DC that he's caught under that. And I think that John Jones, for the foreseeable future, will be known as the greatest 205, and we could argue the greatest MMA fighter of all time.
Okay. I mean, that's fair enough, actually. Fair enough. That makes sense. I feel bad for DC, though, because he has a Hall of Fame career, dude.
I agree. If he was John Jones, just, if he had the characteristics of John Jones, he would be the greatest of all time, as far as people would be saying, cheering him on and everything like that.
You know what's funny? I just realized DC is a Charles Barkley to John Jones, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Because Charles Barkley. So, you know how many Hall of Famers in the NBA got fucked out of a title because Michael Jordan lived?
Yeah.
Had Michael Jordan never lived, you know how many different champions you would have had? That'd have been crazy. I was like just thinking about this. Sorry. Anyway.
And the other thing just to throw to that, though, is that the irony is they were actually friends.
yeah, they were. They were good friends. They're actually still friends. So.
I thought they'd fallen out, but still, I digress.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the TMZ shit. So.
With that thing said, ladies and gentlemen, for some strange reason, he's gonna roll with fucking DC. I'm rolling with John Jones. How do you see he gets it win by the decision?
Yeah, he gets a decision. So the questions remain regardless.
Right, with that thing said, fuck you guys dissing my wallpaper, man. Fuck all y'all.
It's not on?
Even Bane's getting in on the act. Speaking of Bane,
Bane liked it.
Fuck all y'all, man. I'm fucking about to fucking flip out. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys spending time and whatnot. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Shout out to our sponsors, Bane, banestore.com, BAIN. Fuck you guys for kicking up with my fucking wallpaper. But I do love your tees. Also, you can check out the mugs. They've got rash guards that were on pre-order. They should be getting to you guys relatively soon. I know they're in production. And there's the spats, the hoodies. It's all cool gear. They do incredible artwork as well. All jiu-jitsu inspired. So whether you're training or not, I know people who use the spats for running, hoodies, all that good stuff. Make sure you check out bainstore.com. Use the code word, the heel hook. You will get 10% off your entire order. Not just 1, 2, 3. You can get as much shit as you want. Just throw it up in that basket. Get yourself 10% off. Secondly, Receptra. Receptra is a CBD oil company. They do topicals. They do body creams as well. They're incredibly good for your health, and they have massive amounts of health benefits. The body cream helps.
It's good for your back. This shit will help you. All right. It hurts and it helps. It helps. Get some shit.
He's on the pro. I'm on the pro also. A few friends and family use it as well for any kind of aches and pains. It helps with inflammation. It also helps with clarity for myself and Eddie. Additional to that as well, there's been some studies that show that it helps with arthritis. Some say that it helps with cancer. So for the most part, I know a few people that have used it for those said reasons, and they've said that it's benefited. There's no medical studies that have proven it 100%, but there is studies that have shown that it does have some health benefits with said things. So like I say, man, if you want to take care of your body, let's be honest, it's the most important thing in the world. So head over to Receptra Naturals, that's RECEPTRA, naturals.com if you're in the States. So if you're in the States, Receptra Naturals. All the links are in the bio, and the description as well. So click on there. When you go to Receptra Naturals, if you're in the States, use the code word, the heel hook, get yourself 10% off. If you're in the United Kingdom or if you're in Europe, you want to use receptraglobal.com. That's receptraglobal.com, RECEPTRA global.com. And that's also in the bio description. You can check that out. Click on that if you're in the UK or Europe, and you will get 10% off if you use the code word, the heel hook, on all your orders. So whether you're in the States or in the UK, make sure that you use the code word, the heel hook. No matter how much you buy, you'll get 10% off your entire order. Where can they find you, Eddie, as well?
You can find me at Elaw31 on Twitter. Yeah, fucking it, now I'm out of it. At Elaw31 on Twitter. Go to crosswithmma.com for all the podcasts and shit. We just had we did a breakdown today. We had a breakdown last night and actually broke the episode down. So if you don't want to sit through all our bullshit, you can pick and choose what you want us to do. Yeah, Instagram is at Elaw7 and at crosswithmma. So make sure you fucking hit us up. Oh, and I'll show up with coffee next time. I promise.
Fair dues. With that same thing said, we'll be dropping some mini episodes on the heel hook as well. So you'll be able to take each individual bit that we break down. So you'll be able to take each individual fight that we broke down, and you will be able to tune in and listen to this afterwards if you missed any of the priors. So if you don't want to watch all the way through, you can pick which fight you want to have a look at. You can see our breakdown for each one. Additional to that, make sure that you follow us on, I was going to say Instagram then, but yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, the heel hook. We don't post that often, I'm not gonna lie, but you can check us out on iTunes, you can check us out on SoundCloud. We've got all the interviews that we've ever done, all the breakdowns, if you ever want to go back and look at any of those. Additional to that, you can follow us at the Heel Hook Show, and that's on Twitter. You can follow us on the Twitch, which is twitch.tv, the Heel Hook, and also make sure you subscribe, guys, to this channel. Make sure you give it a like, give it a share. Tell your friends to tell a friend. Just get that thing out there. We appreciate all the love and support that you guys give us. And you can follow me at Twitter at Asher Lamprey. That's ASHLEYLAMPREY. So on that note, from me and Eddie, this has been the Heel Hook. Peace up. A-Town down. Love you guys.
DC by decision, bitches. What's up?
Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you, Jones.
Get shit together.